Greetings, mortals, and welcome to Theros. We're here to tell you an exciting tale of an age long since forgotten, where gods pull the sun across the sky, and oceanic dames walk around with giant bidents. And sorry, welcome to the show, where the exploits of heroes get written into the stars like the fates of the would-be god of revels or an adventurer who sought to sail into the heavens themselves. The stars are in flux yet again as we peer into the yet unwritten journey of four such heroes, a misfit band who have yet to play a note. But before we begin tonight, I want to welcome you all to our brand new show here on Saving Throw. We are Dice X Machina, and I am very excited to kick this off. We are actually sponsored tonight by Hero Forge Minis, the internet's #1 stop for creating custom miniatures for your tabletop games, now offering full color minis, token designs, a token designer, and more. I've actually got several of their color minis myself. I'm loving them. It's a really awesome feature, and it's a long day of time wasting to sit around and just build every character you've ever made as a color mini. So I recommend it. Especially fun for us, those of us who have done previous Magic the Gathering settings in D&D, like Ravnica, or even with Theros. It's great to be able to build Minotaurs and centaurs and things like that. So, Loxodon.
There's Loxodons available now.
Ashlyn, what would be the name of a Loxodon that you could think of?
Oh my gosh.
I don't know. Something with a T comes to mind. I don't know. Maybe two.
Nothing's coming to mind.
Oh wait, you know what? We
Different show.
Okay, cool. We got it out of the way. All right.
Danielle has no idea what's happening.
That's our Greg Gunberg. We have to have at least one cameo from Tutoru over the course of the show. We've got it out of the way, so we're good to go. All right. And with that out of the way, let me welcome us to the table. Let me go around. I don't know. It's hard when we don't have a table to be like, I don't know. I don't have the stream in front of me, so I don't know what order people are showing up in. So I'm just going to cue you based on how I see you. Great. So let's introduce our new player to the game first. Danielle, say hello to the nice people.
Hi, I'm Danielle. You know me from stuff. Nice to see you. Hi, I'm really excited to be here. I've been looking for a game for a while, and I'm happy to play with everybody because everybody here is really cool and good and funny.
Nice.
Hey.
And we will go through and introduce your characters more in depth as we do the session tonight. But do you want to tell us real quickly, just like a elevator pitch of your character?
Okay. So, D is if you've ever seen the movie Hercules, the one with the rock, obviously. D is a lot like that, just like a grifter, athlete, decent. Grifter, not as good as she thinks she is. If I can put it in one thing, when I was pitching this to Riley, at one point I go, she's just a wrestler, and Riley goes, yeah, I know, dude. So
you are a human and you are a bard.
Yes, human.
My headphones
bard,
just fell off. You are a human
neutral,
and a bard. Yeah, chaotic neutral, and your god is, do you remember?
No.
Perforos.
No, my god is Perforos. I have a sword.
It'll work out. Now let's go around the horn. Let's introduce, moving from the GM seat to the player seat for this game. Let's say hello to the Internet's Ruben Bressler.
Right. Hi, I am the Internet's Ruben Bressler, Mox Ruby, and I'm excited to, I guess, have less weight on my shoulders of the storytelling. And I so rarely get to play as a player. I'm a lifetime DM. And when I do get to play as a player, I'm always the party face. So I'm excited to be the loner, quiet dude in the back for this one. I'm playing Claw. I'm a centaur, just like outdoorsman loner type, who, just is getting by on his own. Thank you very much. Don't need no friends. But maybe we'll get some friends this episode. We'll see.
Maybe the friends you find are the friends you make along the way.
That's true. The friends that I make along the way that aren't necessarily like squirrels and birds. I also worship Nylea, the god of the hunt, as you do when you live in the woods and are a hippie like I am. And yeah, that's what I got. And we'll see more of Claw as we move on.
Thank you, Ruben. And then moving along my screen, let's go over to Jordan.
Hi, everybody. My name is Jordan Pridgeon, and I am playing Lysandros, who is a satyr and a rogue and has illusion-y things, and is a gambler. He likes to gamble a lot. And that's his big thing. He's like kind of a trickster type. He just goes from town to town, gambling, probably accruing debts and stuff like that, and that's him.
All right, and then our last but not least, Ashlyn.
Hey everyone, my name is Ashlyn Rose. I am playing Calista. She is a Leonin, and she is a fighter. She likes to fight for fun, loves hunting, and does a lot of it apparently. And that's her. Oh, and that's her.
We will learn more about all of them as we go
Yeah.
along. And wow, I want to say we're getting a lot of subscriber unlocks, and everybody is giving their rerolls to the GM. So
The GM.
Everybody is ready
Tell
for
the story
me.
better.
Everyone is ready for me. All right, this is a complete. I don't want to not go with my glasses, but they literally cannot stop fogging up. I don't know why this is happening so much right now, but it's hard because if I don't wear them, I get headaches. But if I do wear them, we're not going to see my eyes for the entire show. But we'll see how it goes. All right.
You can take them on and take them off. It's fine.
Yeah.
We're just playing a
It's
game.
better.
There's
Yeah. It's better than doing contacts. I regret it immediately.
Yeah, I don't do contacts. I can't touch my eyes. All right, and I, of course, am your myth keeper, Riley Silverman. And for those of you who are not Magic the Gathering players and who are D&D players, Theros, if you haven't checked out the book yet, is a little bit different of a setting than most D&D settings. It is, instead of being focused on the more medieval type magic and adventure and sword and sorcery you find in most D&D books, Theros is very much flavored much more like an ancient Greece, maybe a little bit of Roman flavor in there as well, but it's a little bit different take. The gods are significantly more important to the Theros setting than they are in most D&D games, so we're gonna have a lot of fun seeing how these characters interact with their various gods. Jordan has the special limited edition version. The book's the Friendly Local Game Shop version, which is an awesome cover art. So check it out. I am a big fan of this book. I'm not a Magic player, as was often brought up on Broken Pact. I'm a D&D person at my heart, but I love this setting and I'm very excited to get to play in it. So I'm really glad everyone's along for the journey. So
I'm actually excited that you, as the non-Magic person of the Broken Pact, are running this, because it'll just be. I'm really excited to see your interpretation and take on the world and everything, and I think it's going to be awesome.
Well, thank you.
Whereas, if you played Magic, you might be colored by your experience playing with the cards. You are unfettered by those biases. So just having your own inspiration of the Greek and Roman themed world that D&D doesn't really have. This is the first time they've really done anything like this. So
yeah, there's hints of it in Avernus, but this is leading into it full on. So here we go. This is it's like a line. It's fine. All right.
A little bit,
My glasses are Nick's-born. All right. Here we go. Everyone, settle back and welcome to season 1, episode 1 of Dice Ex Machina. All right, I forgot. We talked about it. The theme song was already playing, and I already forgot the theme song already played.
We can play it again. We can just do it again.
It's awesome theme art. It's fantastic. Our benevolent overlord Dom Zook over here at Saving Throw made that for us, and it is fantastic work. So we do love it. We could watch it over and over again, but people came to watch us play D&D and not just watch us play a video that we already showed. So let's go ahead and start the game. Here we go. The sun has just begun to set over the coastal city of Neolanton, and as it does, the distinctively common sight of Heliod worshippers across the city halt their evening business to stop and perform a small gesture of blessing to the departing sun. The Sunset City, as outsiders often refer to it, outside the earshot of its more devout citizens, takes great care in observing their duty to see the departing sun god off with respect, for fear that he might strike them down in hubris, a fate that befell many of their ancestors in ages past. And just as the old polis of Alanton disappeared beneath the waves, Neolanton is commonly known as the westernmost point of land for living travelers before the Siren Sea claims Theros for its own. Its bustling port coast serves as a welcome sight for those returning from distant odysseys or those looking to disappear on their own. For this reason, despite the seaside town's tragic past, it has managed to recover back into the ranks of the continent's most thriving cities, and its distance in the eyes from the Melitian leaders who claim governance over it has served the Neolanton's underbelly and black market well. It is in such a place that we meet the first champion of our tales. We open on a seedy, underground gambling den. There are card games. There are some backroom fighting deals happening. But right now we focus more on a friendly game of dice. Sitting at the table, losing as often, is Lysandros. Lysandros, why don't you go ahead and describe what's happening for you? How's your game been going? Who you've been playing against? How's your night been going? And what do you look like?
So Lysandros, who is he is a kind of lithe satyr who wears mostly black, but decorates his horns and what he's wearing with like coins that are hanging down. And if you look closely, are not like the official coins of this world. They're his own particular coins that he uses for decoration and the like. And he is just vibing with everybody, kind of making friends, throwing drinks around, drinking back, and he just keeps upping the stakes over and over. Every time it's like, oh, you're out of money. He'd be like, oh, that's what you thought. And he opens up a little bag that appears to be just full of more coins. And every time he has played, for a while, the night always goes that he starts to win a little bit and then starts to drop. And he kind of loses a bit of the money. He's like, okay, no. All right. I was ahead there, okay? And I can become ahead again. We just need to have the dice go in my favor. And it's just going to take a little bit of time. So let's go double or nothing, right? Double or nothing. Hey, you're a winner no matter what, right? Because I'm just making up what I already lost. But you could be making twice as much. This is a great deal. He talks everyone into getting him into just the deepest hole he could possibly get. And then it all comes down to one final die. The fates just are not with me. They are not with me today, everyone, but that's the fun of the game, isn't it?
You are sitting across a table from a gaming table from a Triton who has been humoring you over the course of this particular gaming session and has maybe raised the odd eyebrow here and there as you've raised your bet. And as they collect their winnings from yet another loss at your flick of the wrist, he stops and he looks at it and he says, "This feels light."
Well, if I'm being entirely honest here, I would say something like 70% of the coins you saw when I was putting it out there were illusions. They were fun to raise the stakes, right? I mean, we were all having a good time, and if we were playing for a very small amount of money, no one would be enjoying themselves. But I can promise you that I'm good for it. And Lysandros pulls one of the coins off of his horn, and he flips it to him. And you see that it has written in the script there, scratched onto this coin, IOU. And a little pair of his horns drawn onto it. See? Now I owe you. And that is almost better than getting the actual gold, isn't it? Because now you're owed favors. And who knows, over time, that could be worth far more than a couple coin, couldn't it?
I want you to take a good look at my face. Do you see my face? Does it look like I have been having a particularly better time because of this illusion of yours?
Oh. Well, look, emotions run high in games like these, and sometimes you win, and sometimes you lose. Now, you should be happy. Why? Because you're winning. You're winning. I'm losing, and I'm happy. See, what's the problem here?
The problem is you're placing bets that you don't have the ability to pay up.
Oh, trust me, I'm good for it. I am due to inherit a fortune like no others. The fates have decreed it, and it will be so. So just consider this a payment on a very big future sum. And, man, it is getting much later than I thought it was, so I think I will be on my way out for the night.
Okay, you Are you standing up from the table, or are you?
Yes.
Okay. Go ahead and make a perception check for me.
Okay. Oh, there's my D20. I got a solid 4. Let me figure out. Oh yeah, that's a 4 minus 1. I'm not super wise, so that's a 3.
Now, we do have some re-rolls if you want to be more perceptive.
Meh.
All right, let it roll.
Well, as of now, Jordan does not have a reroll.
Oh,
so,
okay. Never mind.
Yeah. I mean, I could definitely roll a sleight of hand check and see how that goes. But
Hey.
but I think with the 4, I don't think I'm going to need that, to be honest with you.
Maybe not.
Yeah. So you get up from the table, and things seem to be fine, and you start heading toward the door. And as you get to the door, you feel a hand grab you by the wrist.
Aha! I turn and look at who the hand is.
It is a guard of the particular establishment. You know that they are one of the kind of lieutenants, or the I don't want to say lieutenants. I want to say more of the heavies, or the just kind of like the enforcers of the establishment itself. They answer to a criminal overlord that you've never met, that you've heard of, referred to only as the Gorgon. And they do not look happy.
Well, gentlemen, what is it that we have the pleasure of getting your fine, and may I mention how wonderful a job you are doing keeping the peace in this here fine hamlet. May I ask what problems we seem to be having today?
I mean, do you really want me to answer that question for you?
Oh, and I put my hand on him, and I want to cast Friend really quick.
Okay. Do I get a resistance to that, or is that...
I don't think so. It just gives me advantage on charisma checks.
Yeah, you're right. Okay. Yeah.
And then in a minute, they realize I did it and hate me.
Yeah.
Now come, friend. Look, there's no need to escalate this any further than it has to go, okay? I just need to go back to my house so that I can get the money that I owe our friend over there, and then everything will be fine. I'll be back in no time at all. My name's Lysandros. You've probably heard of me around these parts. So now that you have my name, how am I even going to hide, right?
Go ahead and make a persuasion check with me with advantage.
Hooray! I love advantage. Oh boy. Okay, I got a 6 and a 4. So that puts me at a 13.
Okay. All right. You see him look at you. He's a human man. He is Meletian, and he's wearing what looks like Meletian hoplite armor, but clearly not like standard issue. Probably was taken off of a Meletian hoplite, but probably wasn't issued to him by any sort of military leader or any sort of pole march or anything like that. So he looks at you, and you can tell immediately that whatever persuasion you thought you're pulling on him does not land. And he kind of takes your hand, and he says, "How about we go together to your home to get these particular pieces together? You and me and my other friend here." And he points behind him, or behind you, I should say. And behind you is a Minotaur who is wearing very little actual armor because he doesn't really need it.
Oh, sure. Yes. No, I think that sounds like a great plan. An armed escort to my own home. Why, I've never felt so important after all. Wait a minute. Didn't I see you in the Minotaur games last week, right?
No.
Ugh, I must be mistaken. It was someone, and he's going to turn, and Lysandros is just going to run. And I want to cast Expeditious Retreat.
Okay. What does that give you?
It makes me faster.
Yeah.
Okay.
Essentially.
But I will find the specifics. It allows you to move at an incredible pace. When you cast a spell, and then as a bonus action on each of your turns until the spell ends, you can take the dash action.
Okay.
So Lysandros just takes off at full speed.
Yeah. Past full speed, because you can.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I am going to. You are going to do this Minotaur and this gentleman are going to pursue you, and I'm going to go ahead and make a. How do I want to make a dexterity check for me?
Okay.
I'll let you make it athletics, but with advantage because you have their spell.
All right.
And I'm going to roll at disadvantage to see how well this Minotaur can keep up with you.
He's hoofing it.
I got 18.
Okay. I am going to use one of my rerolls because I have a lot and I want to
Yeah,
make
use
sure
it.
people get them. So this one comes from Joe Arbach, and it was to me. Joe was actually my first DM when I used to role play. When I used to play one of my first DMs, but when I got back into role playing in my 20s. So thank you,
Nice.
Joe. We appreciate that very much. Taking that out of there. So that has been used, and I'm going to roll one more time. And yeah, that was not great. So yeah, you get away. You have managed, because of the spell you cast and the speed you're going, this Minotaur, he's keeping up with you pretty well at first, but he's caught off guard by how suddenly fast this spry little satyr is. And he kind of like turns to look at the human, like, can you believe this? And as such, he misses you as you dash behind a corner, and then you're able to get a straight away where you're just gone now. He hasn't seen you.
And I sort of do a little bit of like goat leaping as I do it, kind of like bouncing over things and leaping over like a stall to like try and get down an alleyway. And as soon as I find somewhere that's kind of like that is a little further away, I kind of throw myself against the wall, and Lysandros like looks out around the corner at where they were coming after him.
Okay, you go ahead and make a stealth check for me.
Okay. I got a 17.
Okay, I'm gonna make a perception check just to see. And I'm gonna use one more of my rerolls because this came from I believe this is Tyler Boyce's voice game. So I think it's
Hey,
Boyce.
Tyler Boyce.
Yeah. And what was yours again?
17.
Okay. Yeah, you are good. You do not get caught.
Do I see the Minotaur in them?
You see them. They actually go running past the hiding spot that you have. So you have, because they've caught up to about where you were when you ducked off of the path, but you were able to hide well enough that you are no longer hidden. So I mean, no longer being pursued by them because they're past you. So you have evaded these guards for now. 1 second while I ask Dom a question. Sorry. We have some re-rolls that are to players, but I don't know to which players they are. So
we just do it. We just do it like to the players and to the GM now.
Oh,
so it's
gotcha.
Like players just share a pool of re-rolls.
Gotcha.
Nice.
Well, we currently have 3 re-rolls for players now that are available.
wow.
Those come from
Yay.
Skyfox, Mallet Master, and Pentagram Spawn. We actually have 4. We also have one from H Leviathan. So we have 4 re-rolls for players, and we also have I have 4 more for me as the GM. So
Nice.
those are what we
Yay.
have so
Thank
far.
you so much.
Yeah.
Yep, and
Thank
we have
you
some
all.
more in the waiting, but we don't know who
Thank
they're
you.
going to go to yet. So everyone knows that there. And just a reminder, the way we're running rerolls versus advantage in this game, just so that rerolls have a little bit of specialness to them. When players are going to roll with advantage, I'm making, or if they have inspiration, I should say, if I give them GM inspiration, they have to declare they're using inspiration before they roll. But if they're using a chat given reroll, then they are actually allowed to reroll after they roll the dice. So that's just how we're keeping those different. So that way the rerolls coming from you as viewers are more appreciated and more powerful.
Special.
Excellent.
Yeah. So there we
Love
go.
it.
All right,
And they're
Lysandros.
special because we know that you gave them to us out of love.
Yes,
Well,
and
yeah,
we
thank you
love
as
you,
well.
and we love your love, and we love the way your love loves us. All right, Lysandros, for now, you have evaded capture, and you are free to go about your business for now, as we cut over to a different character. Callie, you are currently not on a hunt. You have successfully tracked down your last targets. You have caught them up. You have taken care of them. You've claimed your bounty, so to speak, and you are now kind of you've been you've had a few days off. You've kind of been able to kind of relax, let your hair down a little bit, and you have found yourself to Neolanton. Where would you go in the city to unwind, to relax, to just enjoy yourself for an evening?
I'd probably try to find a local tavern to hang out in.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's pretty good. There is it's a nice little agora in the middle of the city. There's a couple different taverns around. There's also just a big open space, kind of a big, well-lit space where ale is flowing. Well, I guess it's not like mead, I guess would be whatever is there. It's flowing. There's a lot of wine, lots and lots of wine. We'll say wine. Wine seems safe. There's that going on, and there's some songs being sung. There's some philosophers ranting in the corner. And what would Callie find? What would she be looking for at a tavern? What's her deal?
I think wine would be fine. I think Callie likes the idea of open spaces, coming from the plains and like just hanging out in giant open spaces and kind of roaming from like group to groups of people anyways to kind of like talk to people. So she kind of likes to like people watch, especially since she's kind of an outsider in the big city. So she's gonna chill with some wine and kind of people watch, look for interesting things.
Excellent. What is Callie's food of choice? What would she order if she was giving herself? She's treating herself because she's had a successful hunt. It was tough. You had some pretty rough battles there towards the end, but you made it. So what would you do to treat yourself?
Absolutely. Callie's going to treat herself to probably one of the finer fishes that you can find in Theros, at least with what she gets paid. So let's go with whatever you would call the ahi tuna of Theros.
Oh yeah.
All right. And you have placed your order, and there is a servant at the other establishment who's going off to get you a plate. And you kind of look around, and you catch a glimpse of yourself in the reflection of a brass pot. What do you see? What does Callie see of herself when she sees herself in the reflection?
She sees a young lioness who's a little tired. She's got the white tawny fur of Burmaz. She looks very much like a Burmaz of the Leonin. It's a magic card reference if you know that. And she sees a tired cat that's experienced beyond her years and who knows too much about the world, more than she should. And she kind of snarls at it and goes back to sipping her wine because she doesn't want to think about it right now. She's like, I just got done. I don't need to worry about anything right now.
And as you're thinking that, the plate comes to you, and it's actually a fish that's laid out. It still has the head and the tail. We're not doing fancy ahi steaks at this level of
the head's the best part.
Yeah.
No fillets here.
And you're just about to enjoy your meal when the fish head turns and looks at you and says, "How's your night going?"
Oh, for Heliod's sake!
Not this time. I mean, it'd be nice. It'd be a good gig, but that's not. It's not it.
What do you want?
The boss has another job for you.
Do you have to turn into my food?
Yeah, I mean, not a lot of options around. It could be your wine, but it wouldn't really kind of fit the vibe, you know?
What's the target?
It's an interesting one, actually. You're going to be shocked. It's a return. Can you believe it? I know.
Shocked. Truly shocked. Truly.
But this one's a little different. It's, I think he's on a mission for Phoenix.
For who?
He's got for Phoenix.
Yeah, yeah.
If you've heard of him, he's pretty famous. He's a god, one of the gods.
No.
Yeah. So
You
anyway.
mean the boss's mortal enemy?
Look, you're the one who said who.
Oh, okay.
I said his name
making
and you said
sure.
who,
Okay.
so I thought you didn't
Sure.
know. I didn't mean to fish explain to you. I just wanted to let you know.
Go ahead and eat your mouth. I can eat your mouth.
I mean, it's not going to stop. But you understand this is like a divine. The gods, the boss is making me talk.
Can
And
you just get on with the assignment?
all right, yeah, sorry. So here's the thing. This guy, he actually was hired, it turns out, to go down to the underworld and get some information and come back. And now he's back, and he's got some information that the boss particularly would like to know, and would also like it if Phoenix wouldn't know. So you understand what I'm trying to get at here?
Yeah. So
It's not just a smash and smash job. It's a smash and retrieve information kind of job.
Okay. Interesting. I've never had to keep him alive and get information from him.
Yeah. So about that, there might be an extra wrinkle in this one that you might need to be aware of, and that is that you may need to find yourself a follower of Phoenix in order to help decode the thing that you get. You need someone who speaks his language to kind of help break what this guy knows.
I need someone to decipher what this person knows. I need to find a Phoenix follower.
Yeah.
Come on. I already have to deal with you and all of oh God.
I mean, do you have if you got a problem with the arrangement, I could tell the big guy and he could
No.
renegotiate.
It's fine. It's fine. Sure. I'll figure it out. Do you know where this person is? What am I looking for?
You're looking for a follower of Phoenix. And I can tell you that there is one. I mean, I don't know if you need a specific one, but I'm pretty sure if you look around Neil Anton, you're gonna find somebody. That's not exactly the most trustworthy town that you're gonna come across.
Sure. Who's the target? I mean, what does the target look like? The person who escaped.
I mean, he looks like a return. He's got the mask and all that stuff.
Oh, the return. Okay, got it. Yeah, gold mask, all that fun stuff. Okay.
So we good? Can I go back to being a fish now, and you can have your dinner or whatever?
I mean, I would rather you not. I would rather not. It's good fish. Can you just go?
Yeah. That's what I was getting at as well. So I'll leave you to your business, is what I'm saying.
Yeah. Thanks, Marcus. Mark.
Hey, you're welcome. And then turns back into a fish.
I am flabbergasted. That was amazing.
I got news. I had absolutely no idea what voice that character was going to have at that moment in time until he started talking. So
It's perfect.
Hey everyone, guess what? We have unlocked our first tier of the night, and which means everyone gets a little extra luck. We have everyone gets another reroll. So
Nice.
We got a lot of rerolls. So
Great.
we can have fun with that. Those might need to be just as a reminder too for chat and for the players. Just rerolls cannot be stacked in a particular use, so you have it to use when you need it. Otherwise, you might have to hold on for it. If you still don't succeed, you have to wait till next time to use it again. So use another one. So. Did that make sense? That's fine. We'll move on. All right.
We get it.
So, Callie, what do you do now? Do you continue with your meal? Do you?
She's gonna look around. She sees a stray cat kind of darting from plate to plate. She's gonna kind of call it over, and then she'll scrape the fish off and give it to the cat.
It very much enjoys it. It's kind of got the coloring of kind of the that Egyptian style cat. I can't remember the name off the top of my head. It's blanking on me, but it's that kind of style of cat. So it's
the Oh my god, I'm blanking now too. I was
Not,
just
not
thinking
the,
about it.
not the
like
hairless Sphinx.
No, like an Abyssinian almost, like that kind of
Oh.
like yeah. So yeah, and it's very excited to devour that fish.
Great.
Good.
I mean,
At least
it's
one of us will enjoy it.
yeah, it's not often that the best thing on the menu is tossed aside as a table scrap. So this cat is very much feeling like it just won the lottery. So,
Right.
so we kind of zoom away from you as you, I guess, enjoy your wine
Yeah,
on
I'll
an empty
just-
stomach.
Yeah.
And a servant coming by, reading your energy, just brings you a fresh goblet of wine.
Good read.
And accepts payment for it as well.
Excellent service at that place. I gotta get the Yelp review for that place.
5 stars.
Yeah.
Fully.
Speaking of service, Claw, you have actually just arrived in Neolanton, and you have actually made a little bit of side money working as a guide. You have led people down from Melitus down to Neolanton, so you've kind of been doing a little bit of a tourist safari kind of vibe, and you are now here, and you kind of have, a bag full of gold that you don't seem to care too much to have, and so you're ready to do whatever you want with it. So where do you go in town? What do you do to rid yourself of wealth that you don't care for?
Yeah, well, typically what I'll do is when I arrive on the outskirts, I'll accept the payment from the rich folks that wanted to get a little bit of adventure and like look at a Hydra track or whatever. But they don't want to get too close. You know what I mean? They want to be behind the barrier. So we aren't like going and looking at actual chimeras. We'll look at like maybe someplace a chimera used to live, right? That kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll keep them to the main roads. It's all very urbane. And then when I get back to town, I point at the right. I point back up at the town and say, "Well, I'm glad you enjoyed your trip, and if you ever need another trip, maybe I'll be around. I suppose I travel here and there, but stay safe." And then I'll just wander away from them because I don't care about them anymore. There's a small shrine to Nylea, obviously. There's a small shrine to all the gods, but there's one that I know of. Off into a little bit of a copse of trees. And I know that there are some blackberry bushes there, and it's the right time of year for blackberries. So I'm going to go pick some blackberries and get a nice little handful of those, and also get some of the leaves and sticks for medicinal purposes, and just sort of not really praying, but just sort of hanging out around the shrine for a little bit, catching my breath and watching the sky and hanging out.
Okay. As you gather up those fruits and the such kind of things, you notice that one of the blackberries, as you're holding it, just turns to rot right in your hand.
Do I know why?
I would say that you're not 100% sure. Like it's not a completely clear of an omen, but you know that in the past that when something like this has happened, or there's been like a moment of decay unexpectedly, it usually means that a certain pact or bargain is possibly in need of some sort of fulfillment while you are in somewhere in your vicinity.
All right, I will accept that sort of omen and glance around, not really around the shrine because I think I'm alone up here, but I'll look at who's nearby.
Okay. You don't see anybody at the shrine who is in particular need of any sort of help, or anyone that you think would probably be what you're looking for, but you have a vague taste of wine on your lips. Like it's like a memory of having drank wine in the recent past, but you don't know exactly why that's there.
I this is a confusing omen to me. I don't think I've ever received anything quite like this. I'm going to make sure that no one is around.
Mhm.
And then I'm going to produce my star map
Okay.
as a Circle of the Stars druid, which looks like this. Is
Okay.
a sort of moon. And as I activate it, yeah,
Nice.
I have a prop. I will cast Augury using my star map.
Okay.
And I'm going to ask to receive an omen from an otherworldly entity about about a specific course of action that I plan to take within the next 30 minutes. I'm going to head to a fancy wine bar in town. Do I think that will result in good results, bad results, both, or neither?
I believe you think it will result in good results. You feel a warm feeling of familiarity, as if the feeling you get when you are in the presence of an old friend.
In that case, I will disable my star map and pack my things up, make sure I've got enough blackberries for the road, and head into town.
Okay. Claw, go ahead and make, before you go, a perception check for me.
That's a high number, and I'm good at that too.
Dang.
18 plus 5, 23.
Okay. As you are heading out, you just, out of the corner of your eye, you see a curtain just kind of drift closed. Like someone was peeking out from behind it and let go of it as you started to leave.
But not enough for me to want to go investigate it.
It's up to you. You got a pretty high roll, so I'm just letting that's you definitely got that sense of a feeling of a curtain closing.
Sure, I'll wander over.
Okay. Do you look behind the curtain, or do you just look, or what?
There's
do
a
you
curtain? I'll look behind it.
I'm saying you felt like a curtain, like someone peering
Yeah.
behind a curtain and then letting it go.
I will wave my hand where the curtain in the air kind of would be, and I go, "Hello? Is there anyone there?"
With your perception check you already got, I'm not going to make you roll again because that was a pretty good roll. I'm going to say that you definitely get a feeling of like a presence, and then it kind of fades. And then it's one of those things where it's like when you think you've seen something, and then you look and nothing's there, and you kind of maybe feel a little bit foolish for having thought it was there. But it's like you just have that nagging feeling in the back of your head, like something happened and I'm not quite sure what it was.
Fairy fire.
Okay. That's a wisdom saving throw?
That is a dex save.
Okay.
20 feet cube around me.
Okay. I'm going to use one of my rerolls. Wow, I just rolled two ones in a row.
Oh, no.
So that's fun. That's a fun reroll right there. All right, that's going. All right, you definitely see the outline of something in your fairy fire, but the second that it feels like the outline, you see it vanish in the way that you often have noticed your own markings glow, very like Nick's star style thing. So you don't even get to make out the outline of what it is. It's just there's a form and then it's just gone.
Okay. I'll grin to myself a little bit. Be like, all right, fine. I'll see you later. And I'll head into town.
No, you won't. Okay. So then, you head into town, and we will come back to you shortly. D, you are getting punched in the face, and you are currently also in one of the. You're also in a room that's very similar to the room that Lysandros found himself earlier in. Only instead of at a table of cards or dice, you are in a caged in ring, a bit of an arena. You've got your sword and you are facing off against another human who is currently being cheered on by the crowd.
So I have been fighting for a while. I am currently they don't like me because they typically don't like me in this part of town. So they're not my biggest fan, and they are waiting for this person to finally beat the crap out of me. So he is I would say he's probably not much taller than me, like a little bit bigger than me, but he's punching the ever-loving crap out of me. And everyone is watching, as even though I have been fighting in this, I've been fighting in this arena, I've been fighting in this area forever, and people know that like I get the thing on, I'll be throwing them fists. For some reason, I cannot get over on this one person. But so as he is punching the ever-loving crap out of me, I stand up, wipe my face down, raise my sword, and I start to fight back.
Okay. Instead of doing this, we're not going to drop into full-on combat rounds. We're just going to do kind of a series of skill checks here to make it go a little bit less. So we're not like dropped, because like we're so early on. I think I want to wait until we have the whole group together before we maybe do a full-on combat. But go ahead and make for me a athletics check.
Oh boy. Okay. Athletics check. Sorry, let me expand this. So I rolled a 4. And I have a +3 on athletics. So that's a full ass 7, my friends.
All right. You describe what your attack looks like. What are you doing to try to hit this guy?
Okay, so I am throwing lefts and rights and lefts and lefts, and some of them are hitting him in the face and some of them are hitting the body. And as I do it, he reels back and then he gets back up, and the crowd is cheering every single time I hit him in the face. The crowd roars when he gets back up and he looks at me, because they hate me so much. And as he is staring at me, I'm just like, oh, is that the best you got? You ain't got no more? Oh, I thought that you was big and bad, Mr. Oh! And then he punches me right in the face, and the crowd roars. They are loving it so much. And so then he punches me again. I fall on the floor. I get up, I grab my sword. And as I grab my sword, I lift it above and I start tearing up, and I go, this is the only thing I have ever wanted in the entire world, was just to beat you in combat and in fair combat. And if you win this, then you won. And I can only go away knowing that you won fair and square. And I am so sorry for everything ever. Then he punches me in the face and I fall down. And then I stand back up and I go, it's okay. It's okay. I'm wiping the blood off my face. You ain't S and your mama ain't S. And then he grabs me by the back of the head and he punches me 3, 4, 5 times. And they look so lethal. Every time he punches, I throw my body back as though I have been hit by a 350-pound man and not a dude that is all of 1 inch taller than me. He punches me in the stomach and I fly back 2 feet. He punches me in the face and I fly back 4 feet. And I fall to my knees and I'm begging, please don't. I give. I will never, ever, ever say your mama a hoe again, even though she is. Oh, and then he punches me in the face 2, 3, 4, 5 times as the crowd cheers.
The crowd is cheering him on. And every time you have dropped one of these like burns on him and you have kind of come at him a little bit, you've gotten just this sea of boos. And you've gotten like you've been hit by so many random like fruits and vegetables from the crowd. They've like broken through the gates. They've broken through not the crowds, but just the fruits and vegetables that have bashed through the holes. So you've got stuff and you've got like sauce in your hair. You've had wine poured on you, and he goes to pull back and he gets his sword, and he actually, because you've pulled your sword out, to now he pulls his out and he swings and he goes to hit you, but rather than stab you, he actually kind of like gives you like an upside the head with like the blunt end of the sword. And it's definitely not as hard as it looks to the crowd. It's definitely like it like taps you on the head. And then how, just without going into like the whole speech, just like what is your immediate reaction to when that sword hits you upside the head?
So the sword hits me on the back of the head, and you would think I was dead and dying. The sword hits me to the back of the head. I fly with my arms open, like 4 feet. I jump up in the air as the sword hits me. That doesn't make sense. It's not how swords work, but that's what happens. I jump up in the air. I get air. I get at least 2 feet of air, and then I collapse onto the ground, and I'm holding my head, and I'm just crying about how I wish I had chosen a different path in life, and he is right and the rightful person to defeat me, but I will never give up because I believe so fervently in what I believe in. And I believe it so much that I have to keep fighting into the end. And now I'm crawling, and my mouth starts bleeding, which makes no sense because he hit me on the back of the head. But my mouth is now bleeding for no good friggin' reason. And I'm wiping the blood, and it's all over my hands. And I turn around so I can face him, and I'm putting my hands up, and I'm begging for him to show me mercy.
And then he turns to the audience, and just to get an idea of him, like I said, he's only a little bit bigger than you. He's wearing a helmet that makes him, he's a human, but he's wearing a helmet that would be almost like the horns of a minotaur. Like he has kind of got this vibe of being this minotaur. It's like almost like part of his whole motif as a fighter.
Oh man!
And he turns and he looks to the crowd.
I've got the prop right over there, but I can't
get
it on.
Yeah.
Yeah, weirdly enough, it has a metal horn. He comes in and he puts his hands up in the air and he looks to the crowd and he says, "Should I show mercy?" And the crowd just starts booing and just starts saying no, and they're jeering at you and they're just against you. And then he turns back to you and he says, and he goes, "Looks like your fate is sealed." And then he pulls his long sword up over his head like he's getting ready to bring it down on you.
Okay, and so he pulls his longsword over. I'm still crying. Please, please, please don't hurt me, sir. And I feel like I am so convincing that maybe he's starting to feel more like he's starting to feel.
Okay, make a performance check for me.
Performance check?
Yeah.
Ooh, so baby rolled a 1.
Yeah. So you start to come across, like you start to say this, and then he leans down and he whispers in your ear and he's like, "You're overselling it." And then he pulls back and he just picks you up and he just flings you against the side of the cage. And you hear a voice whisper from outside the cage. Someone go, "Just stay down. We're trying to wrap this up."
Okay, so I get up.
Okay.
Because you ain't gonna tell me when it's time for me to stop. So I get back up and I'm like, "Is that all you got? This is from my mother and my mother's mother and my mother's uncle and her father and probably like her dad, like 5 dads. This is for everyone's dad." And I'm like yelling all of these things.
Why are you yelling that? Suddenly a goblet just conks you on the side of the head. So I'm gonna let me roll for it because what is your AC? What is your AC? Do I have that? What is your AC?
My acrobatics?
No, your armor class.
Oh geez. Hold on, scrolling down.
It should be up toward the top of your D&D Beyond sheet. It'll be actually listed as like a separate stat.
Oh, it's 11.
Okay. Yeah, so you get conked in the head by a goblet. I'll say you take 2 damage because it's like just a blunt object here. It's not very. I'm not gonna roll for goblet, but yeah, you take two damage from that.
For goblet.
Roll for goblet.
Yeah, and the Minotaur just shouts. He's like, you should stay down. And then he like takes his sword and he goes to try to swing to sweep you off your feet. I'm going to go ahead and roll for that again. And okay, yeah, he actually misses you. So he goes to move, but you know what he's planning on doing. And so you kind of sidestep it in a way that clearly makes him pretty angry. And he looks at you with a WTF kind of face. He is like, what is happening here? Stop it.
So now I have a Hasm sword. Look, I am supposed to be down at this point. I feel like we all pretty much, but I'm not. Look, I am nobody's biggity beta. So he has already hit me and punched me a bunch. And so I dodge it. The crowd starts cheering. And now it almost will roll for charisma, but it's starting to feel like maybe they're on my side.
Roll for charisma, because we're gonna see. Roll a performance check for me.
Oh, hold on. Let me double check and make sure that I can roll this, because this is high. Oh, baby rolled an 18.
Okay. Yeah,
Nice.
I think like you said, the crowd is suddenly like it's a weird shift and it's going on our side. And you look outside of the ring and there are a couple of humans who are looking around at each other like they don't know what to do at this point. And there's the Minotaur you're fighting is he's getting angrier and angrier, and he's no longer like kind of playing a character. He is now actually mad at you. And so now he comes running towards you with his sword, like he's going to swing at you, and he rolls and he misses you, luckily. So he's not really a very good fighter. He's good at looking like he's trying to fight. Now that he's actually trying to fight, he's not doing a very great job of it.
Yep.
Oh, baby cakes. I thought we were going to go adept out of this. No? Nah. And so I start fighting back. I'm hitting with my sword. We're kind of both equally doing it.
Yeah, go ahead and make just to see how this plays out. Go ahead and make for me make a strength check. Just make a basic strength roll.
No way. Hold on. Okay, so I rolled by max. I rolled a 13.
You rolled a 13. Wait, what do you mean you rolled your max?
Wasn't that well? So I rolled a 16, but
Do you have a negative strength?
I have a +1 strength.
So you rolled a 17.
You rolled
You rolled
17.
16 plus
17.
1, you have 17. Okay.
Still not
Yeah. You definitely beat his armor class. So suddenly you throw through and your sword actually gets through his armor and you pierce him in the side. And suddenly it's like everything just suddenly stops, and he looks at you and he like sputters, and then he falls back, and suddenly you hear a horn lay out to indicate that the fight is over.
Oh crap.
And the crowd is going wild because they never expected this. This is not what they thought was going to happen.
So I see what's happening, and I immediately, my legs, as though someone has lifted me up and dropped me down, my legs go up under me and I fall and I land. I land on top of him, and then I roll him so he's on top of me.
And he is on top of you. He's screaming in pain, and he is just carrying on. He's going nuts, and he just finally he kind of rolls off of you. And as this is happening, suddenly the cage is opened up, and two kind of figures in robes come in, and they start working on him. They're trying to like get the sword out and try to repair his wounds. And you see in the doorway of the cage, you see a familiar sight to us. We see a human and a minotaur, and an actual minotaur this time, and a couple of other people who are also pretty common enforcers around this area, and they are waiting for you.
I guess we're done here.
We're done here. But yeah, we need to talk to you.
So I walk over to the figures, and by walking, I mean I very briskly walk with my sword, and I'm like, "Hey, I did. You guys like me, right?"
Yeah.
It's
we're,
like
we're
almost.
big fans.
I'm doing that like. This is a weird way to describe it, but have you ever seen that one Bugs Bunny cartoon where it's like, "Well, we are the boys of the," like the chorus? I'm like trying to tap dance out of the arena.
That's a great reference.
Just so I can get over to where the other people are, because I'm trying to do all of the theater school stuff I know how to do, so that everyone leaves me alone. As I go very briskly over to the group that we've already met.
They are not happy with you, and it is very clear from their expressions that you need to come with them immediately.
Hi. So that we talked about that. I thought that was what we said was going to happen.
No, that wasn't. You know what? Come with us. The boss wants to talk. Well, the boss wants to talk to you. Let's go.
Okay, but he's gonna he remembers the meeting, so it's.
She is not going to feel the same way about it. Let's go ahead and have a little stroll.
Oh God, it's her.
Yeah.
It's not him.
No. When I said the boss, I meant the boss.
Oh, balls.
So they take you towards the same hallway that earlier Lysandros ran ducking down. However, they take you down a back way, and they lead you down a hallway you don't like being led down. It is not boding well for you to get led down this way, but it is also a situation where if you want to look around for escape routes, you're welcome to roll, but it's not looking good for you right now.
So I'm kind of talking like, hey, so how's your child or pet or mom? As I slowly
and
look
one
around.
of them looks at you and just goes, "They're all dead. Keep walking."
Okay.
Jesus.
How's your girlfriend or house or stuff?
It sank.
And I look around, and I'm just kind of like, I'm just chilling, man. Oh wow, this is really cool. Look at all of this cool stuff. I'm just like touching everything. Like, oh, it's so cold on my injuries. It feels so nice. I rolled a 12. It feels so good on my skin, and it's just so. Did you do this stuff? Oh my God, you, my friend,
you
are
definitely
a master of stone.
With your, I didn't build this place, but thank you. And with your perception check, you definitely notice that there are arms strategically placed in ways that if you tried to run, they would be able to grab you immediately. So you are kind of resigned to your fate to keep walking.
So did you you build those arms? That's cool.
Yeah, in real fights.
Oh. Tight. Bird? No.
What?
Snake? Fish? How's your fish?
You're just saying animal names. I don't understand what you're.
A hoof.
How about we play the quiet game before we get to the boss? How about we do that? How about
we're just gonna play the quiet game. It's the game where I am quiet. You ever been quiet when you're walking down the hallway? Because I'm quiet while I'm walking down the hallway.
Well, it's not a very long hallway, so at this point, you have actually gotten to your destination. They open a door and they lead you into a room. There is a very nice chair that is occupied and a less comfortable looking chair that is obviously ready for you.
Hey, boss, how's how are things? How's your children, pet, mom?
Sitting in the chair is a slender woman who is, well, let's say like around high 40s, early 50s age. And her hair has started to turn gray a little bit, and she is looking at you with a very cool, some would say stony glare. and you are sitting across from someone who is colloquially known as the Gorgon because of the way her looks tend to freeze people in their tracks.
So that was crazy, right? I don't think you were in the meeting, but
You
we
need to
changed
stop
it
now. You need to stop now.
the last second.
She says, it was my understanding that you and Gregorios had an understanding that you were supposed to take a fall. You were the loser in that battle, and the Minotaur was supposed to win that battle. Dee, can you tell me what happened?
So what happened was
No, Dee, just let me know. Is that how that wrapped up? Is that how that ended?
well, if we would have gotten, I was
just
gonna
say this is not a yes
then,
or this is not a either. This is not an essay question. This is a yes or no. Did you lose that fight?
I would have if I had 5 more minutes.
Again, that's not the answer I'm looking for. The answer is no, you didn't. You lost me a lot of money just now. Do I seem like someone who likes it when she loses money?
No, I think you like money a whole lot.
I like money, and I also don't like losing very much.
Yeah, losing sucks.
So I'm going to make this really easy on you. Normally, I would just take care of you and be done with it. And it'd be really easy. We're underground. I have a lot of people. It's fine. However, tonight, I'm annoyed at some other things. You see, a gambler was in my den earlier and decided to run up a heck of a lot of debt and not pay it off.
Oh, what a piece of crap.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of people who don't hold to their bargains, Dee.
Oh my God, can you believe who would do that? What a terrible kind of person.
It turns out this gentleman owes a lot of money to several counterparts of mine, including a Meletian partner of mine. So here's the deal. This satyr, Lysandros, is loose somewhere in Neolanton right now. I am tasking you with the task of finding him and escorting him, whether he chooses to or not, to my associate in Melitus.
Okay, but I don't do real fights. I do pow pow, ping, bang, bang, bang.
Well,
we all win
You
money.
seem to do a pretty good job putting a real sword in the Minotaur and ruining his chances for the rest of the season.
Okay,
So,
but what happened is that
what happened, Dee, is that you had a job to do and you didn't do it, and now I'm giving you another job if you want to escape with your life.
Yeah, I mean, if
You seem to be
if
labeling
that's what
under
you
this
want, if
idea
that's
that you
what
have a choice
want.
here, and you don't.
Yeah, I'll go find Lysol and bring him to wherever he's supposed to be. Easy peasy, right? Just sword stuff. We're good, bro, right? We're friends.
We're done here, and that's what you're asking. So, scamper
We're
along.
friends.
We're done here.
I'll just go scamper. And then Dee does whatever she thinks scampering is. It looks very stupid.
And as you leave, I'm not gonna make you roll for it. As you leave, you remember you've definitely heard the name Lysandros before, and you have a vague memory of someone who you have won some money from in the occasional gambling pit. So you know exactly what the face of this guy looks like.
Oh yeah, I'll go find Lysol. We'll be right back. I've never met this person, but I'm sure he's bad. Bad man. Bad.
You've probably got one of my coins.
Yeah, I'll say that. In your purse, you have a gold coin that is Lysandros' trademark IOU.
Oh, cool. So I'll just be right back, and then we'll be best friends again. Okay, bye. I'm scampering.
All right. And as you head off, we head back to the open agora, the meeting space of the town. We find Calista on, I don't know how deep into the glasses of wine you are at this point. It's your call.
I'll be on I'm probably halfway through the second one. I still have to find this gold mask person, which I could probably do in my sleep, but I'll be responsible.
All right. And as that's happening, suddenly a human walking by is carrying a goblet of wine, and he stands up and he shouts, "A revelry! A revelry! A toast to our friends!"
Yeah, because
And
that's
if anyone in the game wants to hold up a glass to toast, we're going to read off some toasts that came from our viewers.
Right.
We've got 4 tonight. And so here's what we're going to do. Our first one comes from Vampire 54, and their toast is, "I think Jordan just likes playing characters with very distinctive features that only the muses know." And
Yes.
he shouts that out.
Mm-hmm.
And after he's done shouting that out, another human stands up and she shouts out, "A toast to the opening night game. Have a great time, everyone." And that comes from Mythical Magpie.
Aw, thank
Oh, that first one
you.
came from Vampire 54.
Yeah.
All right. Our next toast, another one stands up and says, wherewithal, may the whims of fate and strands of destiny be kind. The will of the gods are fickle, but I have faith the players will triumph over adversity.
Here, here.
Huzzah.
Ditto.
And yes, huzzah. And finally, Michael Sokol stands up and says, "Here's to new adventures."
Yeah, to
Yeah.
Adventures.
Huzzah.
Huzzah.
And then as soon as Revelry began, it ends and it drops down. And I should also let you know that you all have one more reroll available to you as players.
Ooh. Thank you.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
And I have 2 more as GM. And
You have
I
so
just
many
totally
rerolls.
deleted the thing. I'm sorry, Dom. All right. And we have 2 more GM rerolls in the mix as well. One came from Matt Knoll, and one, I just deleted the name of the person who gave that one. I apologize. Actually, I can just undo it. That came from the Jersey Devil and Daniel Sheehan 5.
Woo.
Thank you.
The actual Jersey Devil. Wow.
The actual Jersey Devil, yeah.
The one.
Ce-
Wow.
And then the
Celebrities in
Mothman
chat.
came by. No. And after this excitement happens, we actually have one more. Don, we have one more toast coming in. Oh, this is our 5th of the night, and that actually caps us off. And this
Nice.
comes from another.
Whoa.
I'll say that a
amazing.
Minotaur stands up, and his name is Monstrosity Jones, and he says, "What a great group of characters! Absolutely love the individual intros. This is going to be a wild adventure."
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
like, what is he talking about?
Monstrosity Jones.
Minotaurs.
I love monstrosity drones. Give it to me.
Thank you so much, chat, for those lovely toasts and that
Yes,
revelry.
thank
And
you.
we are excited to celebrate with you as this game goes on. And again, Matt, we have one more GM reroll happening here from Matt Knowles. So thank you so much for that, Matt.
Woo.
Matt is my GM in my home game, so I'm very
Nice.
Nice.
Oh,
very cool. And just so y'all know, we did have a tier unlock for our 25 new subscribers tier.
Yes.
Which means
No
that
way.
what they unlocked is the gods work in mysterious ways. Unlock this secret and you'll catch a glimpse of something that the characters do not yet know.
Ooh.
How that plays in at some point tonight.
Cool.
But at this moment, what we do know is that Claw, you are approaching the Agora and you see a familiar sight to you. You see a
Cat eating a
You s-
tuna. Yes.
yeah. Well, no, yeah.
Oh,
You see a
something
cat eating a
else?
tuna. Yes, exactly. And you do see a cat eating a tuna. It's finishing off. She's actually at this point picking off the bones and leaving those behind. And as your gaze rises up, you catch the familiar sight of the Leonin Calista, who you have occasionally guided while she travels from place to place. If you happen to be in the area, and now you definitely recognize why you were given the omen that you were given.
I will give the good kitty Scritches, not Callista, the kitty with the stitch.
Calista does require
Um,
consent before you can
yeah.
switch
Right.
the kitty. Yeah.
Well, I will.
Yeah,
I
you mean
will-
the cat eating the tuna.
I will piss at the cat If it lets me, I'll give it scritches, and then I will clop my way over to Calista, as my hoofs are probably pretty identifiable on the cobblestones. Not a ton of 6'6" horse people walking around, and so I will lean on a banister overlooking either the port or the rest of the city or whatever, and speak loud enough so that Callista can hear, and said, "Well, fancy seeing you here."
Well, if it isn't my good friend and guide, what are you doing here, Claw? This isn't your scene.
No, it isn't. But I was given a sign from my god to come get a drink. And so here I am, and so here are you.
A drink, eh?
Yes.
Okay.
I assume you've had a few.
Just a few. Just finished wrapping up work. And
are you cool
we're
to
gonna
drive?
work again.
Are you cool to drive? Are you gonna get home okay? Is your chariot here, or do you need me to call a way for you to? I'm kidding. Anyway.
Oh, okay. Oh,
that was me trying to be. That was attempts at jokes.
I got you, bud. You're good.
It's trying to be. I've been told I don't have the best jokes.
Let's get you a drink. You want a drink, right? That's why your
let's
god sent you here.
Well, I'm hoping you can tell me why my god sent me here to drink with you.
I don't know. It's a god. Like, they make sense at all. For all we know, she's sending you to your death.
Yeah, I mean, probably.
Later.
The same server who came by earlier, who has been bringing you drinks before you typically order them, comes over and is like, "Yes, can I help you?"
My friend wants a drink here.
Oh, hello, hi.
Hi,
What can I bring you?
You serve wine. I assume I'll have wine.
Okay. Would you like a darker or a sweeter?
I don't.
Oh, okay.
Whatever's available.
Well, they're all
cheapest. Whatever's cheapest. Whatever.
Okay. Sure. They kind of look a little taken back, and then they wander over, and they you essentially see a big bucket, not bucket, but like I don't know what the word is looking for. It's like a giant like pot essentially that has just got it's filled the brim with wines, and you see the server like dunk glass into it.
They got jungle juice. I love it.
Yeah.
The server's like, fine, give him the swill.
Yeah. Love it.
And they come over and it's like a giant carafe basically, like giant carafe basically, right. And then they just like right into it, and then they bring it over and they
reach into a fur bag that I carry over my shoulder, not one of my saddlebags, but like I have basically a man purse. I'll reach into my fanny pack and I'll pull out a handful of coins of a Crowan make, of Meletian make. There's a couple Setessan coins. There's probably some Scophos coins in there, like just all kinds of different metals. There's probably a plug nickel, like who knows? And I'll say, just whichever one you need of these for that. And you just hold up a handful of like random coins.
There's one tooth in the mix.
Yeah. She looks at you, and you see her like kind of like moving her hand around it and like avoiding the tooth, and then she takes the Meletian one and is like, I think this will do. Thank you.
And then I'll put the rest in my bag. I don't even care if it was like a gold or a platinum, like just take it.
And you hand her a platinum, and then you see like her eyes go really big, and then she kind of scampers off before she thinks you're going to correct whatever mistake that she thinks she just made.
I could give a crap.
Yeah. So she's gone, and then there's like a glass of wine in front of you, and if you taste it, you get the exact flavor of wine that you tasted on your lips earlier when you first had your feeling of.
Well, I'm in the right place. Seems like the gods want me to. Do you want to go? Do you want to go on a tour? You want to do one of the trips? You don't seem like the safari type. You've seen the pamphlet, right? You've seen the.
Oh, do you have a pamphlet now?
I do have a pamphlet.
I
and
would love to see your
I'm
pamphlet.
gonna pull out a pamphlet.
Is it like a scroll?
Yeah,
Is it...
it's like no, it's like a threefold pamphlet. And
Okay.
It says,
what's it made out of?
Papyrus.
Okay.
And it says, "Welcome to Claw's Centaurs."
Yes.
Hoofing it through Theros, and it's got like a really crappy map on it, and it's not very good. But it says, tours from Neolantan. And it says like bullet points of Neolantan, Akros, Melitus, and question mark like as the fourth bullet point.
Okay, well, first of all, I'm going to give you inspiration to carry forward to next game if you don't get to use it tonight because we're already at 9:30. But for centaurs, because I'm giving inspiration for that.
That's worth it.
Yeah, but also. I want to know more about that. I know that we have a game to tell, but I want to know more about this pamphlet. Does he have just the one pamphlet that he shows everybody, or does he make multiple copies of it?
So far, he's got one. So far, he has shown one pamphlet.
So this is like a prototype,
but it is handwritten.
People try and take it, and you're like, oh no.
Yeah. that is the pamphlet. That's the pamphlet.
Okay.
Do you like the pamphlet?
This is great, Claw. This is really, really something.
I thought it was good.
You know what I like about you? You're a doer. You know, you don't wait around for things to happen. You just do it. And that speaks, Claw. That just speaks levels, okay? It speaks, and I appreciate that about you.
As you guys are talking,
thanks.
You see a couple of armed individuals. They don't look like they don't look like official Meletian hoplites. They don't look like they're like guards, but they're definitely somebody who or something. And they are running past the Agora. They're obviously looking for someone. And Lysandros, I'm going to say that at this point in your attempt to escape them, you have actually had to duck somewhere nearby to evade detection. So if you're in this open tavern area, imagine like an open air space where people are gathering. You were probably there when you were hearing the revelry go off, so you maybe were attracted to the sounds of revelry and excitement and joy. In fact, you hear one last bit of revelry from Miento 7, who just stands up and yells, "This is a great group of characters, and only 2 of them wear pants. Such a great start. Yamas! Cheers!"
If Claw wore pants, would he? No, I'm kidding.
Front legs or back legs? That's the big question.
Right.
Yeah. I was going to hold off on that, but it felt appropriate to do it while we're still in the tavern. So there we go. So as you do that, Ashlyn, Calista, you do start to feel a little bit of a tingle in your circlet. It's not super strong yet, but you're aware of it. You are in the middle of a conversation with someone, so how you react to that is up to you. But I'm just giving you that detail while we stick with Lysandros for a moment.
For sure.
So this is a new tavern, right? This is not the one he was.
No, this is actually more in this is like in the actual legitimate business area of town. The idea is that you've been running around fleeing these guards, kind of playing a Benny Hill type situation, and you have actually directed yourself into this crowded tavern area.
Oh yes, well I'm bored of running. All right, let's see if there's anyone who looks like they might be down for some dice.
All right.
Just got a handful of gold coins.
I will let you make a perception check.
Okie dokie. Boy, my -1 wisdom makes it 15.
Okay. Yeah, you definitely see what looks like a much more friendly game. There is actually another satyr at the game. And it's a female satyr, and she is playing a game with another Triton. Also, the Triton, you don't actually know the gender of a Triton. It's not immediately obvious.
But it's not the same Triton, right?
No. These are all honest, good folk.
Good, wonderful. Yes. Lysandros will just kind of make his way over and grab an empty chair and kind of flip it around and put one of his hooves up on it and be like, "Well, is there room in this game for one more? I've got coin to spare." And he opens up his purse, which is full of illusory coin that he uses the cantrip minor image to like make it look like it's shining with gold. Mm-hmm.
Well, there's the female satyr looks at you and she says, I mean, there's always room in my purse for some of that coin if you're offering it up.
Oh, well, we'll see who's taking whose money by the end of this. And he sits down and like takes out his dice and starts to get ready to start gambling.
Okay, I'm not going to make another perception check because you just made one, so I think you're fairly perceptive at this point. When you start to move your dice and kind of shake them a little bit, you get just a half glimpse for just a second that the numbers glow, but you're then not sure if they really glowed or if it just caught the light, if there was something happening with it, but something feels, it just makes you stutter for perhaps a second.
You know, I am very enthusiastic to start taking you poor fool's money, but if you could just give me one moment. He's going to kind of turn around and like find like a bit of a corner and take his dice and just sort of toss them around in his hand and roll them once.
Okay. Yeah, you roll them and they come up snake eyes.
He'll pick them back up. Does that mean anything particular to him?
I think it just, these dice seem to have some level of fortune upon them. So when something rolls of like a really bad roll, like you feel like there is something hinting at you. I don't know how often, tell me this, Lysandros, how communicative are you with your god? How often do you talk with him directly, or is it more of like I just like what this guy's all about, so I tend to kind of just...
I think that I think Lysandros is not particularly devout, but but every gambler is devout, because when they throw the dice, it's a prayer. They're asking for things to turn out in their way. Lysandros cheats, so he's not exactly praying, but it turns out that also sort of works for Phoenix. Right. So he doesn't. He appreciates Phoenix in a way that he thinks few other followers of Phoenix do, if that makes sense.
Yeah, because you cheat to lose as opposed to cheating to win, which is your own unique kind of...
Yes.
Your own
it's
system.
More fun that way.
Yeah. I think that I think because you have an appreciation for Phoenix and you understand the whole cheating aspect of it and the trickery, you definitely feel like this is an omen of something, but you're not sure because you don't typically get omens from your gods, so you don't really know exactly what this is all about.
Well, the smart thing to do would be to leave, but that seems like the dull thing to do. So Lysandros is going to go back to the table and be like, change of plan, I'm going to take this seat. And he's going to just circle his seat around so he has a seat that has a better view of the room. And then he's going to sit down and start gambling with the other people at the table.
Okay. As you sit down, you do notice off in the distance a familiar face of a woman you know by the name of Dee, who has suddenly also entered the courtyard area.
Oh. You know what? Give me one moment. I should check up on her. I had money on her to win a fight earlier today, and I expect that I owe someone for that. So yeah, he will jump up and kind of make his way over to D.
As you walk away, you just hear the satyr. You hear the Triton just kind of go satyrs, and then the satyr that they're playing with is like, "Hey," and then that's they move on. So.
Yeah, the satyr with him is probably like, "Hey, welfare."
Yeah. Because you did sit down, get ready to roll dice, stand up, walk away, then come back, sit down again, and then get
move
up.
the chair, sit down, then get up and
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I go right over to D and I sort of like put a hand on her shoulder. It's like, well, I didn't see the end of the match, but I am sorry to I just want to give my condolences for what I'm sure was a very hard-fought battle that you just didn't end up making it through in the end.
So what had happened was it was a fight and it was amazing. I hope you didn't bet too much.
Oh, I had an enormous amount of money on you winning. Boy, what a fool I am. Who would have thought that every time I run into you in the same city, you always lose?
Oh, that is so crazy. So eventually we should go. You know what? I'll go. I want to spare you the embarrassment of going to go collect that because I know that I lost so badly that you're gonna actually owe money. So I will do that for you as a favor because Lysandros, me and you are so close. That I will go and get that money from you as a favor. I will pay that debt off because
D, Did you win? Did you win your fight?
I don't win fights. Don't win fights. That's not
okay.
You
scared me there for a moment. No
I
need to worry
know
about the debt. I've already got it written down in my little book right here, and
no,
trust me.
we should definitely. I will go take care of that for you, and then you, should probably not be in this city anymore. Have you thought about other cities? There's like a bunch of them. Have you heard of any?
Oh, please. There's 7 or 8 more taverns here. I can spend another week here before I have to leave because the mobs are out to get me.
Are you sure that you want to stay here, though? Because you could go somewhere else, and then I could take care of your debt for you, and then we can meet back up later.
No need. I'm good for it.
Okay, cool.
As he says, I'm good for it, we drift back over to Callie and Claw, who are in a conversation of their recent exploits in their travel.
So you said that my circlet started buzzing.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would say that around the time when he got up to check his dice, it started getting very strong.
Oh, are they in the same room?
You're all in this open air,
got it,
like tavern area. So you're not in the same spot exactly, but you're all within distance of each other now.
Okay. So as we're talking, I would say that the more annoying that the buzzing gets, like I'm trying to like talk through it as I'm talking to you. So I'll be like, oh yeah, that's great. Oh, that's really awesome, Claw.
I have a really high passive insight. I probably noticed this.
Yeah, I'm not going to make you roll for that. I'll say, that's you're very aware of what's happening. Something is distracting her.
I have some willow bark for you to chew on if you have a headache.
No,
you all right?
No, I'm fine. It's just try to take a break for a little bit, but no rest for the wicked. Am I right?
Is it? Were you worried about the hermit crabs that went by? Yeah, they don't have their own. It's the hoplites that had somebody else's armor. They take somebody else's shell, and they call them hermit crabs. It's a nickname that they. Never mind.
No, that's great. No, this is much more annoying. But I'm gonna go deal with it real quick. I will be right back. I'm just gonna look around here.
I will stay here at this human-sized table by myself.
I'm just gonna look around and see where this buzz is coming from.
I will say that it's not the same sensation that you normally feel with Circuit. Normally, your Circuit really attunes you to a specific type of figure, and this is not that. This is almost like something a little bit different, and you wonder. In fact, go ahead and make a wisdom check, just a straight wisdom check for me.
I haven't rolled in so long. I'm so excited.
Actually, you know what? Make a religion check for me.
Oh gosh.
This is God stuff.
Okay, I have a +0 to religion, so that's great.
Keep in mind, we do have a lot. I think we still have
a lot of rerolls.
We have like 3 or 4 more player rerolls that haven't been used yet.
Use them.
I got a 17.
There you go.
Okay.
So
yeah, I would say that given the information that you got earlier from Macrius, that this is like a different type of task for you. You feel like maybe the reason why this feeling is different is that this is not necessarily the same signal you normally get from your god on this. That's why this feels different.
Okay, what is going on? Where is this coming from? She kind of breathes in and just kind of tries to focus on whatever this is trying to say or do.
I would say that what happens when you do that is you start to hear the loud booming voice of a satyr whose gregariousness and his that kind of thing is starting to waft over the sound of the crowd. So
he's currently trying to talk the bartender into letting him start a tab.
I was trying as hard as I could to ignore that, but
Yeah, for Claw, it's just kind of a noisy guy in the background.
Right.
But for Calista, it's like suddenly like almost like it's as if he's yelling it in her ear.
Okay, well then she'll turn around to wherever it is because it sounds like it's so close to her, and she'll just turn around and like yell, "Will you shut up?"
Yeah.
When you do that, a guy behind you who was just like telling a story to his friend is like, "I was just talking. I wasn't just I'm just saying
Sorry,
a while
sorry.
ago."
okay. It's okay. You're good. Don't worry about it. She's.
A little
I
too
don't
much
think
wine.
she was talking to you.
Oh, okay. Well,
Probably,
you
I
should be
hope.
nicer to people.
Yeah, you should be nicer to people. To be fair.
Yeah, he's not wrong. They're not wrong. She'll get up and go to the bar.
I will say that when you catch a glimpse of Lysandros, like once you place the speaking to the volume, suddenly it's regular volume again, and the stinging is gone.
Oh, okay. And is Lysandros far?
I'd say he's like a few tables away.
Oh,
Yeah, he went to the bar, so I'd say like you're probably sitting kind of like on the border of it, and it would take you like a minute, like maybe a minute to get there at the most.
Look, all I'm saying, good purveyor of drinks, is that if I'm just pulling out coin every time that I'm trying to get a drink from you, why, we're going to spend all night just doing an exchange. Whereas if you were to let me draw up a bit of a tab, then at the end of the night, it would just make everything nice and clean, and you would feel like a large windfall came your way.
Hey, buddy.
She's gonna make her way over there.
You people are yelling at your face.
Yeah, I mean, it's a bar. We're having a good time. That happens. Well, hello there.
Hi. I see you need a drink.
Why, yes, you have read the situation tremendously well. I love nights like this. I need something, someone else sees I need something and comes over to make that happen.
I'm not one for usually charity.
Well, how about this? If you were to buy this drink for me, I will pay you back for it at a later date to be determined.
How do I know I'll be able to find you at a later date?
Well, because I will give you my calling card here, and I will take out another coin, and he does like a little like sleight of hand thing, so it like disappears. He's like, and has one of his coins. This for a drink. I owe you. I'm good for it.
She kind of smirks at him, and she'll like nod to the bartender. Get him a drink. And I'm sorry for yelling.
He grabs it and flips the coin over to Calista. That's one drink's worth of IOU. And I will remember, you will go in my book. And he pulls out a little journal that he has, and he writes down, scary looking Leonin from Wine Bar.
She catches the coin with her claws.
Ooh,
Thanks.
I like that.
By the way, I'm keeping an eye on the door in case those thug kind of guys come back.
Just to be clear, it's more of an open. There's not like a door. It's like an open courtyard area.
I will keep an eye on the periphery
Yeah.
in case the angry people who ran by earlier come back.
The person working the thing, bring the bar, like basically turns around and does the exact same thing, ducks a drink into a big old thing of wine, and then just gives you a glass of it.
Cheers, my good man.
He rolls his eyes at you and moves on to somebody else who actually is like willing to pay their own money and get things. And
Xenagos himself never tasted better wine.
when you say Xenagos, the whole people around you just suddenly like shudder and look around, and then they're like, we're trying to have a good night. Oh, we got raided.
Hey!
Oh,
Thank you,
Hello.
Raids.
Welcome, Raiders.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I'll find out who from. Maybe they'll tell us.
Looks like Q Times
Ooh.
raided us, and
Thank you, Q Times.
earlier we got raided as well by somebody else.
Welcome, everybody. This is the first
Thank you
episode
very
of our
much.
new show, Dice Ex Machina.
Yeah.
wow.
Sorry, I
It's
didn't mean
set
to
in
break
So
up
where
the
yeah, so
thing.
where we were at. As the name of Xenagos was brought up, some people seem uncomfortable. You can definitely tell that it's a sticky point for some people. Still, it was not a great time to live through, and as you brought it up, people are a little bit unhappy about it.
Yeah, at that point, I think I'll walk up and check in.
Yeah, I start walking over as well.
We got 3 raids. Just keep swimming.
Dang.
Wow.
3 raids. Hey, so Lysandros, you know how you were like, oh, I bet on you to win, and blah, 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 blah. Guess what, buddy? I won.
You lost. Wait. I'm sorry, you won?
I won. So if you want to come with me over to the pit,
D, I had a lot of money on you.
And so I won. So we can go to the pit, and and then we walk to the pit, and then we're in the pit, and we're not here. We're at the pit, and not here, but in the pit.
Damn it! I was having such a good night too.
Calista, are we good?
Sounds like you came into a lot of money, friend. Congratulations.
All right, what were the odds on you? It couldn't have been that good, right? I wasn't paying that much attention.
They were the usual odds of about 350 to 1.
Are you kidding me? Oh, gee, yes, no, I have got to go there and deal with this. It was an invalid bet. I didn't mean to put that much money in. On those odds, I would have to be an idiot to bet that badly. And I'm no... Look, I'm sorry, new Leonin friend with the very generous spirit and the somewhat terrifying aura about you, but I have got to go deal with a problem.
What?
Oh, okay, you do that. We'll be here.
God.
Unless you need help.
Interested to see how this plays out.
Let's go head over to where the boss is at the pit, so you can go pick up your giant mistaken huge wealth.
No, there's got to be room to invalidate the bet. I've never met a bookie who was dying to pay out. So, all right, fine, let's go. And
do I feel anything from my perspective that's pulling me to stay or to go with them? Or is there anything about the situation that speaks to me? Because I'm still in the bar.
Make a religion check for me.
All right. That's a high number. And I have a high religion as well.
Also, would Claw be familiar with like what I do for work? Because
potentially, yeah. I mean, we're both kind of hunters, right? So I think I probably don't ask that many questions about it.
Right, because you've helped me go places before.
I deliver you to the place for you to go do your job. I don't ask any questions after that. I rolled a 21 religion.
Ooh,
damn.
Yeah.
I would say that what you know is that the signs that you got indicated that Callie is going to need your help, or that you are being compelled based on a bargain that was made on your behalf to assist Callie in whatever it is that she is now engaging in. And I was just given another GM reroll from Shanda VG.
Woo!
In that case, I'm going to stick with Callie.
Okay.
So, as we're about to leave, Lysandros is going to pop back over to the bar and ask Callie one more time. Before I leave,
Yes.
if I owe you for 1 drink, what's the difference between 2 drinks? Am I right?
Tell me. I'm very curious. You've piqued my interest. Why would you be so concerned about winning so much money?
Well, I'm not concerned. Well, money brings problems. Earning large amounts of money, it puts you on the wrong side of powerful people, whereas not having money leaves you in a certain state of freedom. Let's just say that I think Phoenix is testing me right now, and there are things in motion that are not as I want them to be at the moment.
Did you say Phoenix? And as soon as
Lysandros.
Lysandro said Phoenix, like you could tell that very subtly maybe that there was a shift in my posture and maybe my eyes. But I am very now much so paying attention to what you're saying and probably a little bit more sober than I was acting before. Lysandros. Yes. Did you say Phoenix?
What? I don't know. Maybe I did. What, are you a cop? If you're a cop, you have to tell me.
In a way.
No, I'm not.
You do have to tell him if you're.
Yeah, I've actually heard that you do kind of have to tell him if you're a cop.
I'm not a cop.
Well, I do roll the dice, and as every gambler is a follower of Phoenix, at least to a certain extent. So, what can I say? But what about that drink? Because I've got to go deal with this situation as immediately as possible, preferably.
Okay. Sure. Sounds like you're a bit worried, so have another drink. Looks like you need it.
You are a saint, my good furry lady.
Don't ever call me.
Yes.
Thank you.
You're right. I will never call you that again. But here's to you and your health.
Calista is the name. And she'll hold out her claw.
And it is a phenomenal name. I believe you've already picked mine up, Lysandros. But if you ever see me again, well, then I will certainly have to remember that these drinks that you bought me. All right, let's go, Dee.
Do you put in your little book that you owe? You did, right? You put.
Yes, she's already in the book.
That's
I
right.
add 2 drinks.
All right.
Although I have her in as intimidating,
Scary cat lady.
Scary
cat lady at nice wine bar.
Mm-hmm.
Great. So we are going to go to the boss right now, and then you are just going to talk your way out of a bunch of money because you were in so much trouble because you hate money.
I don't know. I don't hate money.
I don't know what your deal is, man. We just got to go back to the boss, and we're going to get all of this figured out, and it's going to be just fine.
All right. Well, yes. Thank you for letting me know. Let's solve this problem before it becomes a bigger problem.
I just care about you.
Lysandros looks around like he's suddenly
care.
nervous about everything in the bar.
Does this interaction between them two, does it seem off to anyone, like, as we're watching this?
I mean, you in character can determine how it feels to you, but there's nobody around who's like picking up or anything like that. It's yeah.
As someone who people watches,
right?
Like,
go ahead and make an insight check for me.
That's a 2.
It's a 2. I would say that it's really hard for you to get a read on either one of these two people. That's what it is. Like you're trying to see how to read on them, and you really aren't able to pick up because you just met them and they both seem a little bit boisterous and they both seem a little bit like a bit braggadocious maybe, and Lysandros especially is very so I think that
satyrs have a reputation for being like a little strange too.
Yeah, and he seems even unusual for that. Like, you've met a few satyrs, you're both from, pretty wild open areas, and this is not a typical interaction. He seems a little bit even more eccentric than you're used to. So, yeah.
And right now he looks visibly anxious about like everything.
Meanwhile, I imagine Claw can read them both like a large print Bible because they're both performers, but I also don't care. So I'm just like hanging out, waiting for Calista to do something.
What's your passive insight, Ruben? Claw?
My passive insight is 13 because I don't have perception.
Nice.
I'd say that the passive
proficiency.
The passive insight you're getting off of them is that they definitely seem to be very good liars. Like, not it's not like that they're lying right now, but you get the idea they're people who are good at.
You live on the road long enough, you meet a couple carnies. Like, this is like
you've met some hustlers, and these both feel like hustlers to you.
Sure. I'm just gonna keep an eye on Calista, make sure she doesn't get swindled here.
Well, Lysandros, if you need help, I'll be here. I might need your help soon, so Don't skip town soon.
Well, I can't make any promises on that account, but next time you find me, you have my IOU.
That I do.
He turns and starts to leave with D.
His IOU is worth like so much. Okay, let's go. Okay, bye. Okay, bye. Bye. Bye, Bar. Okay, so we're gonna go over to the boss, and then we're gonna figure out this whole stupid mix-up, and then you'll be back to being a loser in no time, buddy.
Thinking if the odds were actually 350 to 1, then I have probably accrued something in the area of
Gotta keep talking.
what, 20,000?
Yeah.
Damn.
So
Damn.
The two of you make your way through a few familiar alleyways, kind of down some back routes until you find your way down some steps that lead to sort of a decaying ruin of Olanton of old, the city that was once here and is lost. This whole area, Neolanton, is built upon the remaining ruins of a lost city. And so you're finding there's the occasional, it's not unlike like when you see like Pompeii, only this city wasn't burned, it was sunk, but there are pieces of it that were lingering on the coast that did not fall into the sea, that have been long since abandoned and not kept by the people who were lost during that event, that cataclysm. So now some people have like hollowed some stuff out and made some spaces, and that is where the Gorgon has created this like den of vice that's been happening in this city. And that's where both the fighting pit happened and also the gambling room that you were in. So you head your way down there, and there's kind of a couple of guards who see you both come up, and you definitely recognize at least one of the guards is the Minotaur that chased you earlier, and also who helped lead you down the hallway to the boss earlier, D. And he kind of just puts his arms across his chest, and he kind of has a look like this had better be good.
We're here to see the boss. We've got to figure out a payment mix-up. This is a gambler named Lysandros.
Yeah, I know who this guy is.
Look, I think there was something of a mistake. Earlier, I came in here and I placed something of a bet on your fighter here, and I'm now believing that my bet was invalid because, as you probably have figured out, none of the coin that I put forward for the initial bet was legitimate. So I just think it would be better for all of us if we just called that bet null and void. And since I won a great deal of money, we can just say that everything that would have been to me goes to the house, as it were.
When you say I won a great deal of money, a look of recognition crosses his face, and he goes, "Oh, you're the winner. Well, that changes everything. Obviously, you're no longer in debt to us. If you want, I guess we have no reason to chase you. We'll go ahead and take from your winnings what you owe us, but why don't you head over to the cage to talk to them about getting the rest of your winnings?"
You can keep the rest of the winnings, because... All right, fine. I'll handle this. And Lysandros will head his way over to the cage.
Okay. When you get to the cage, there is another human who's working. Neolanton has mostly humans, and the few Triton that have come up that have like lived in the coastal area are the main populace here. You also get a mix of some other races because it is a port city, so you do get people who are heading out to sea for stuff, but the typical people you're going to run into are humans and Tritons. So yeah, there's a human here. Next to them in the next cage over is a Triton, and so on and so on.
Aha!
Hi,
well, gentlemen, I just want to correct what I'm sure just looks like a bit of a mistake in your books. It seems like I've come into quite a bit of winnings, and, well, my bet was illegitimate, so let's wipe it from the records.
I'm sorry, we're a gambling den, so you can't just walk up and say winnings. I need to know a little bit more about. And he pulls out like what looks to be like a ledger book, and then looks through it, and then pulls from behind him a scroll that has tonight's particular numbers on it and is
Yes.
kind of going through them and is like, okay, so what was the bet on? What was was it a card game? Was it
No, it was on the fight.
the
I put, a couple thousand on D to win.
Oh, you're the one. You're the one. Wow.
I know, I'm as surprised as you are.
I have to tell you, we don't have the cash on hand to cover that bet. We don't have that much drachma here in this establishment.
What's a couple drachma between friends anyway? Anyway, as I established earlier, my initial bet, the money that I put forward for my end of the bet, was an illusion. Open your vaults and you will find that everything in the little sack that I gave you is gone. So it was invalid after all. And I think since this is in your favor, instead of you owing me money, then we could all walk away from here happy and with the same amount of money that we came in with.
I'm afraid the Gorgon doesn't really operate that way. The Gorgon likes to keep her books pretty on the level. So if a bet was placed, winnings are yours. We can't let it get around that the boss isn't known for honoring her bets. So actually what we're going to have you do is, if you really want to settle this, I think we need to ask you to go to her office in Melitus and Melitus and negotiate it there, and then they'll be able to reward you all of your winnings, and then you'll be able to do whatever you want with them at that point. But I'm afraid that we're unable to comply at this particular state.
All right. Okay, fine. I was planning to get on out of this town sooner or later anyway. So where do I need to go?
You need to go to Melitus and speak to the boss's offices there. That's where we keep the main cash, you would say.
All right. I think it's been long enough since I was in there that there's probably not anyone who's trying to kill me. Okay.
I highly doubt that, just from meeting you for just in the few minutes I've been speaking with you. But good luck with it.
Well, luck has always been on my side before, in one way or another. Well, actually, there was that one time. Oh, maybe I shouldn't count on luck. Either way, if that's what needs to be done, well, let's do it. All right.
Callie, what did you do once Lysandros and Dee left the tavern? Did you remain there? Did you follow them? What was your next move?
I turned to Claw and I sigh. Shouldn't have let him go, should I? Should have I?
They seemed annoying.
Yeah, but
I came to the bar because my god told me to help you.
Yeah,
What
I
did
don't know.
your god say?
It wasn't very clear. All I know is that there was something about that satyr that I needed to. They're involved with Phaenax, and my next target is, and I think I need to follow them. I think I need to figure out what's going on. Oh, gosh,
Are there?
I hate
Where did they
dealing
go?
with God stuff.
Yeah, god stuff is stupid. They went to the pit, right?
I think is that what
I think
is that what
so.
the human said?
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't get
There's
her name.
stairs on the way.
Yes.
I hate stairs.
You hate. I'm sorry.
It's fine.
Do you want to come?
Yeah, I'll come.
Okay.
Hold on, and I'll look over at the cat that was eating the fish, and I will wild shape into a cat. And my markings are similar to the markings that I already have, but I'm a cat, and I'll follow Calista.
That works.
When you wild shape, people around are definitely like startled by it. And
Yeah, I could give a crap.
Yeah.
Like I'm a centaur in a city on the coast. Like I'm already a walking, site for whatever. So what's somebody turning into a cat gonna do?
When people freak out like that, I'll just take my wine and be like, "To Erebos!"
And I'll
And they're
turn to
all
the
like to
gawkers.
Erebos, and they're all kind of like surprised to hear it's an Erebos thing, and then they all kind of drink out of superstition, like they're afraid not to now.
They're like, I mean, we're not going to drink, but we're not proposing that toast.
Yeah.
I'm gonna turn. Oh, also
Of
my
course,
fur.
yes.
My fur looks like I have saddlebags on the sides of my haunches.
Aw.
Okay.
I'm gonna turn to the gawkers as we leave, and I'm going to, in basically my voice, just say, meow.
And they kind of like, and like one of them definitely does the thing where they like look at their glass of wine and then like throw it over their shoulder and they like rub their eyes and they go and they like leave to go get sober.
And yeah, I'll try to follow where they went. We will try to follow where they went.
Okay.
I think
Lysandros
I
and
know.
D, do you stay at the pit or do you decide to head out now?
Well,
I decide I'm feeling internally I'm feeling real bad, but I don't go around telling people how bad I feel. So I'm like, okay, so we're gonna go to the boss. We're gonna fix all your problems, right?
yes, I guess so.
All right.
I hate having money.
Yeah.
Makes me nervous, you know?
Sounds pretty friggin' terrible. You poor man.
Yes, and I intend to stay that way.
Poor fortunate soul.
Yeah. Let's go to the boss and let's get rid of your money problem.
Here's to that.
Yeah, here's to that, man.
So, Lysandros will just go get ready to head out. He doesn't really have that much stuff he has to take with him going from place to place. He sort of like figures that out as he goes along.
Okay. Yeah. So you guys probably head out of the pit, and I would say that on your the gambling den, and on your way back out, you run back into a familiar Leonin who is being followed by a cat.
There's too many cats here. What's going on?
Hey.
Whoa!
Hi.
If it isn't
First of
Callie,
all,
my
you can
earlier
never have too
benefactor.
many cats.
If it isn't Callie, my benefactor from earlier, and a smaller quadrupedal version of the same species.
Meow.
How do Leonin feel about the existence of cats?
Oh God, I can't believe I have to work with this.
Maybe how I feel about the existence of goats. I'm going to think about this
Lysandros.
more.
I was thinking the exact same thing, but I want to let us play out in character.
She's just gonna roll her eyes at this point and be like, look, I don't have time to put up with more charity work for you right now.
Oh,
I have to work with you. I don't know why, but I need your help for something. So me and you, we're gonna be working together, and I don't know where you're going. Are you going somewhere? It looks like you're leaving. Are you leaving?
I
Hey, cool.
feel as though there's a...
Yeah, sorry, drunk cat lady. I'm not quite sure what's going on here. But we have to go to the boss because he has a debt that has to be unpaid. So if you would
a debt would mean that I owe someone money. I am indebted too, which is uncomfortable.
So if you would like to come with us, that is which way we are going. And I personally would kind of love some of whatever it is you've been drinking.
I feel like I'm missing some big part of the story here. We're working together now?
Sorry, Phaenax. You're a follower, foo-foo Phaenax person.
I mean, again, you're not a cop, right?
No, I am not a cop.
If you're not a cop, then yes, clearly. If you are a cop, no.
You have to tell us if you're a cop.
I'm not a cop.
The
Okay,
cat
but you have
nods.
to tell us
The
if you're a
cat
cop.
nods.
Yes, I agree. I'm not a cop.
All right, yes. I am a follower of Phoenix. He has worked well into the lifestyle that I've created for myself, but I don't see how that makes us partners or working together in any way.
Sorry, I'm sorry. I've gone off to the wrong foot. It's been a long day. My fish was talking to me. It was horrible. I'm Calista. I'm a bounty hunter. my next target has gotten mixed up with Phaenax, and I need someone to help translate something that only would be able to if they were also a follower of Phaenax.
Okay. So I'm not your target.
No. Oh, goodness, no. You would not be.
Great.
Yeah, you're good.
I've already had one big chase today, and I was ready to have another, but this saves us all a lot of time.
Yeah, no one else is after you at all, for sure. That would suck.
I'm going to choose not to read anything into the tone you use there. Well, I mean, it seems like Dee and I are going to Melitus, so if that works with your plans, I mean, there's nothing that's stopping you from accompanying us.
Sure. I mean, if you don't mind us tagging along until I find my target and then helping me with said target, I mean, we can help if you run into trouble.
Yeah, well, nothing makes a road journey more fun than a little bit of company.
I'm sorry, who's us? I see you and I see a small you.
Oh,
I will drop out of wild shape and become a centaur again.
Oh.
So you guys need like a guide person?
It's a pamphlet.
Yeah, I have a pamphlet. Hold on. I'll pull out the pamphlet.
Do love a pamphlet.
This claws centaurs.
It's like three. It's like a three. That's really nice.
It's a tri-folded. Yeah.
Ooh.
I had a guy make it for me.
Wow.
But
it's soft. What's that material?
It's papyrus, probably.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
wow,
it's nice.
Is it papyrus font as well?
Yeah, of course. Papyrus. It's all papyrus all the way down. Y'all trying to go though to get to Melitus. I can help with that if you want to go. My god, see, this is all god stuff. My god said to not guard, but like meet. So it's weird. They communicated through my taste buds, and it said to meet someone at the bar. And I met Calista at the bar, who I've met with before. And then Calista is connecting with Lysandros' god. And D, I'm assuming you're connected with Lysandros through your god as well.
Yeah, it's total god stuff. It's like just gods, man. Just like meeting up and like making out. It's just crazy. The way that gods do,
it's wild.
Man.
Yeah.
Phoenix tends to sort of passively coerce me into things more than anything else. So
that sounds like a great relationship you have.
It works for us.
Do you want to go?
Well, I guess if there's nothing keeping us here, we might as well start on the road. Hey, you know what? 4 is a lucky number. Most numbers are lucky. It depends on what numbers were rolled before those numbers. It's very contextual, but recently 4 has been quite the lucky number for me. So
Is it lucky? Okay. Well,
it could be.
I'll take my pamphlet and fold it into 4 instead of 3.
I will say this conversation continues like this for a while. I assume it just kind of keeps like there's a lot of like misunderstandings and claw misreading and Lysandro's playing with it and Dee lying through her teeth. And we zoom up and we watch this newly formed group heading out of Neolanton on the road towards Melitus. And as we do, has been nighttime. It gets darker as things go on, and we cut away from this motley crew of new friends. Friends is a strong word. This motley crew of new co-adventurers, acquaintances. We'll see how it goes. We'll figure it out. Yeah. We cut away from them, and we see on horseback a returned figure. He's riding with the telltale signs of those brought back from the underworld, or those who have clawed their own way out of the underworld, I should say. And he rides with some level of determination, as if he has somewhere he is supposed to be. And for a moment, we get a glimpse of a glow. And it is on the inside of his mask. There is an inscription written in some sort of language that is hard for us to decipher, and it glows. And then we see a similar glow on the dice being carried in Lysandros' pocket. And that is where we're going to end tonight's session. Thank you all so much for tuning in to the very first episode of Dice Ex Machina, our saving throw D&D Theros campaign. Let's go around the horn. Danielle, where can the people find you?
Just find me at Danielle Radford on Twitter. I usually plug my stuff on there. And then also watch the Honest trailers because I write some of those.
Nice. Yes,
Nice.
You've done some great work on those things. So what was the one recently that you wrote? You said you wrote a huge chunk of.
Oh, I was really, I did a huge chunk of the National Treasure one, which I was really excited about.
Nice.
Oh,
Oh, I was
nice.
really happy.
Very cool. A very good, I was getting ready to say heisty based one for what we're doing right now, but I guess maybe not. Who knows? All right, Ruben, where can people find you?
Oh, hi, everybody. I'm the internet's Ruben Bressler. You can follow me everywhere at MOXREUBY, Mox Ruby. I do a Magic the Gathering podcast on Wednesdays called Magic Mics. That's MICS. Yeah, it's a great pun. What else? That's about it these days.
All right, Jordan, where can people find you?
Hi, everybody. My name is Jordan Pridgeon. You can follow me on Twitter at Jordan Pigeon, like the bird. And also, just check me out here on Saving Throw and other things. We actually just finished up our newest season of Wild Cards, which is a new setting that's a dark carnival, and that's been fun. But we've got like 10 seasons of that to go back and watch on YouTube.
Yeah.
So, go check that out. It'll be back at some point.
All right, and Ashlyn, where can we find you?
You can find me on Twitter at Ashlyn Rose or on Instagram as RAR. It's Ashlyn. Or you can check out my website, ashlynrose.com, where you can find all my voiceover demos and whatnot.
All right, and before we say who I am and where you can find me, remind you folks to check out Good Society tomorrow at 8 p.m. right here on the Saving Throw Show channel, and check out the Wild Cards Talkback, which is this Friday at 8 p.m. since Jordan was talking about Wild Cards. And you can find me on Twitter at Riley J. Silverman and on Instagram at Riley Silverman. And my Doctor Who role-playing game where I play the Doctor, we are about to drop a Doctor Who Day special on the 23rd. That's going to be our special. We've actually announced it now. It's a multi-Doctor story involving my doctor, and a doctor played by Joseph Scrimshaw. So that'll be really fun to check out. So that'll be really cool. And you can check out that and other ones at Gamer Wrestling. Thank you so much. And let's go ahead and say thank you. Oh, we have another. Oh, wow.
I just saw that.
Yeah. So
Master.
Master just unlocked all of our tiers for tonight.
Wow.
We have wrapped the story for tonight, but now
Holy crap.
so the original plan of the tiers was to have flashbacks for 2 characters tonight and 2 for next week. So I will have to figure out how to resolve those now when we come back next week or moving forward for that. Thank you so much, Mallet Master. So just to let you all know what we just unlocked, we will get a flashback for Claw, a flashback for Lysandros, a flashback for Callie and Dee. But what's really more exciting is that we also get a special, it was a tonight only feature. So I'm super excited that we got to unlock it. And what it is, it's a feature that we are calling Divine Verdict. And what that means is that at one point, once a season, only one time only, everybody can agree to get what's called essentially a Deus Ex Machina. In a very clutch, very needed situation, you will be able to call upon divine help to get you out of a situation. And again, we are very, very excited for Mallet Master. Thank you so much for doing that. That is very lovely of you. Thank you. Heart hands for you. And what a great vibe to end the night out on. But of course, we'd be remiss if we did not also thank our producer, Gaurav Gulati, and of course, as Ruben would call him, benevolent overlord Dom Zook. So thank you very much. And once again, a thanks to Hero Forge for supporting our show. And thank you all for supporting us as well. And have a mythical evening.